Welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the January 10th, 2017 episode of AstroEnergy. With me, Shelley Overton. I am an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. I welcome you. It is a lovely day in Orlando. We are finally coming out of the deep freeze a little bit. Not that I don't love it. I do. I missed it. I wanted that for Christmas. But yeah, it's getting a little bit warmer here. I think it's going to be 70, 75 today. So I hope you're warm where you are. I hope you're bundled up if you're not in a warm climate. And I welcome you to the show. So also, if you would like to call in for a reading today, the number is 347-994-3365. And if you want to get a reading, push the 1 on the dial so I know you're interested in getting a reading. Okay, so let's go over what we have today. I'm going to sneeze. I had the door open, and the cat's just outside, and I tell him he can't come in. He usually obeys. He's pretty good about that, but he scratches, and all the fur flies everywhere. And so hang on one second. Oh, yeah, I love my allergies. I'm going to have to put that on my priority list to get rid of for this year. Anyway, okay, so, and we have the chat room open, too, if you're interested in going in the chat room to talk. So, new year, new chart. Let's see. We've got Uranus at 20 Aries. I've got the Aries on the horizon, the natural chart. So every sign is in its natural place right now on my chart, on how I interpret it. So Aries is on the first house with Uranus in the first, and he is at 20 degrees Aries, directly opposite Jupiter at 22. So we've got this ongoing opposition, and it's energy around wanting to start a business or wanting to start some type of educational schooling kind of energy entity. So I feel that in my chart really strongly. But if we do decide to do something, Jupiter is in Libra, and that is the sign of partnership. So I'm sorry, my nose is a little tickly right now. Hang on. Okay, so yeah, Jupiter in Libra, it's about finding someone to balance you out, finding a partner, and anything that has to do with diplomacy or, the other. And Uranus in Aries, again, is about technology, it's about invention, it's about unusual things, things that are alternative fuel, alternative means of policing, alternative health, alternative anything. But in the sign of Aries, it relates to emergency workers, it relates to construction workers, people who, like race car drivers, anything where you would express that strong masculine energy. And Uranus is in sextile to the moon today at 25 Gemini. And it is just past an exact sextile, but they're still kind of talking to each other. And guess what? They're really excited about everything, and they want to talk about it because Uranus is a chatty fellow, and Gemini is a chatty sign. So the moon in Gemini brings out the chatty quality, and Uranus in Aries wants to take action on ideas. And with the sextile, it means that we are in cooperation with how we think and how we feel. Moon is about emotions. Moon is about mother. So there may be a situation where we are giving nurturing or attention, listening to someone who has a lot of ideas, a lot of electrical energy, which is hyper energy. And I don't know if I've mentioned this often, but Gemini and or Uranus both have really strong energy around ADD. Mercury, the planet that rules Virgo and Gemini, it is a highly thinking, intellectual energy. So when we have that energy in the sky, are strong in our charts, we can be really, well, I can tell you, people who are chatty, they're chatty because they have a lot of thoughts and they need to get them out. I was one of those people. I still kind of am at times, but as a child, definitely no filter between thoughts and mouth, as my sister, the Gemini, pointed out. Anyway, so Uranus, this is interesting looking at the chart right now. Uranus is in sextile to the moon at 25 Gemini, which is in opposition to Mercury at 29 Sagittarius. And he goes in, I know it would seem like he would be in today because Mercury is fairly quick moving, but he's not going in until Thursday morning, so into Capricorn. He switches signs then. So we still have another day and a half of this energy, but definitely today we're going to see opposition, or actually, this is another thing that I just noticed while I was sitting here. So what you do in astrology is you find connections to archetypes and stereotypes that are not even stereotypes, archetypes and symbols that are in the chart. And so Uranus in Aries, Aries is a forthright fire sign, action-oriented. So he wants to get his ideas out. It's an entrepreneurial sign, so he wants to help us start our own business. Mercury is at 29 degrees Sagittarius, which is also a fire sign. Mercury is an intellectual air energy, and Earth, depending on which sign it's in, Gemini or Virgo. But it is a thinker also. Uranus and Mercury are the thinkers of the zodiac. He is opposite the moon in Gemini, which he rules. So we have this energy of electrical Gemini, electrical Mercury, and electrical Uranus. And there, 2 out of 3 are in fire signs. And the last one is in an air sign, so air and fire. But they're in, well, there's a sextile between Uranus and the moon, and then there's the opposition with Mercury. So we have this really strong energy, and there is only not a trine between Mercury and Uranus because he's a little outside of the cone, or what we call an orb, O-R-B. But Saturn, who is only 7 degrees away from Mercury, is in trine to Uranus at 22 degrees Sagittarius. So there is this really strong energy about taking action, owning your ideas, owning your thoughts, talking about them, but manifesting, because it is Saturn in Sagittarius wanting us to take the action and own the action. So anyway, I think I got off track from what I was going to say. What I was going to say is the ADD energy of Mercury and Uranus, but there's even more ADHD, which is hyperactivity disorder, which is taking action. And, this is my own personal interpretation, but as an astrologer, we see inclinations towards behavior. And so if people have said you're ADD or ADHD, ADD is an energy around extreme thought, like, really your mind is very active and you can't settle down. ADHD is you have to take action on that agitation. And so what I just described astrologically lends itself to both of those. And that is because we have such strong energy in fire, which is taking the action, but also electrical energy, which is the mind, the mental aspect of it. So if you've been feeling a little extra ADD, a little extra ADHD, or even some extreme manic depression, that comes out of this energy, especially Mercury and Sag going back into Sag conjunct or within 7 degrees, which is technically, I go by 8-degree orbs, so 7 degrees is within that, so it's conjunct to Saturn. Sagittarius energy can be extreme, so you can see more manic depression with that energy. And so if you've been feeling that, that's an astrological energetic cause. And then also we have Venus and Neptune and Mars in Pisces. And Pisces is the very laid-back energy, but it can also be, what's the word? Oh, addictive. Yes, that's the word. Oh, and I wanted to add one more thing, too. There's an energy of anxiety. When any electrical energies are triggered, you may feel anxiety. And I was feeling a little, well, it wasn't anxiety, but maybe more anxious. I think for me, it's a lower volume of that. So feeling a little bit of like, oh, something's not right. Well, and the other thing is, all the Pisces energy can make us really weepy. It's sentimental energy. I apologize for my stuffy nose on this broadcast. I know I sound really nasal, but that's because I have the cat and I'm allergic, so I apologize. Anyway, so yeah, so we have a lot of different things coming out right now, and they run the gamut from extreme behavior to anxiety to laziness and depression. If you have Pisces in the 12th house, if you're an Aries rising, you can feel a little depressed, you can feel sentimental, and you can feel like it's you can't really get things done. Mercury at the last degree of Sagittarius, he's only there 2 more days. He's going to move into Capricorn. That is the sign of manifestation. Let's get it done. Let's make something. We have to create something in the material world. So January 12th, that's the day I am making my New Year's resolutions, because that's the day that Mercury finally gets back into Capricorn after he went out, after he wasn't retrograde. And it is the first day of the year where we actually have our thoughts in alignment with the manifestation energy. So if you are interested in doing your New Year's resolutions, that's the day I would recommend. And let me just see, I think I had, and it's 11/11. I really love 11/11 because I saw 11/11 in 2003. 2001. That was the first, yeah, 2001. So that was really the first time I saw it pop up repetitively. And that's the awakening energy of spirituality, and you're starting to awaken to the broader sense of things. So whenever I see 11/11, it's like, yes, everybody make a wish. And then 11/12 I've also seen recently, and that is what I consider to be, now it's time to move forward with what with what's coming through, and manifest it. So this is a year of manifestation. We have a lot of strong Capricorn energy. We have Saturn moving retrograde for a good portion of the year. In the middle, I think we've got Jupiter expressing an interest in partnership and education with books. Capricorn and Libra are both publishing / book energy. And so Libra gets you wanting to write, wanting to express those ideas, and Capricorn is about manifesting and taking the physical action, tangible action that can get you there. So Pluto at 17 Capricorn, he's churning up things that we didn't think about, that we didn't know about, and wants us to really start to challenge the dogma. It's something we've been doing for a while, but it's bringing out a lot of those ideas that we've had from the past about the give and take. I just did a reading an hour ago before the show, and I was talking about this with my client, and she brought up something interesting, which I'm going to share, and that is, she said the millennials they have a sense of entitlement, and that kind of put me off on a little bit of a soapbox, and I started explaining to her how the millennials came in with Aquarius energy, and strong Aquarius energy. So Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, wants to detach from emotionalism. And, really the Pluto and Capricorn energy is the energy of the past, where we have systems of social behavior, and we have an understanding that if I say thank you, you say you're welcome, or if I hit you, you're going to hit back. It's like a give and take, a tit for tat. It's a social interaction that relies on, if I do this, then you do that. And it's an ego-based energy. It is something that is now in flux. It is starting to shift and change. And the shift and change came when Uranus and Neptune went through Aquarius and then into Pisces. We felt this energy coming in, and then the children who were born at that time, came in to really transition us to the Pluto and Aquarius energy we're going to feel in the middle of the next decade. And so when you say that the millennials are entitled, that's one interpretation, but personally the true interpretation is that they came in with a stronger sense of self and detachment from the need for validation. So they come into this world saying, this is who I am. I don't understand why you're slowing me down. Capricorn wants to slow things down and be very methodical, and why you aren't on board with this. And once again, every sign has its realm. And as it moves to the next sign, you really get kind of a change for whatever the stereo or archetype was of one sign. The next sign shifts and changes it almost to the opposite energy. So it challenges the sign before. So Capricorn was is very structured and can be stayed in its opinion. It says, this is the way it is, this is the way it's always done. It's very traditional, very linear. And Aquarius is, the word that came to mind was magnanimous, which it is, but universal, and it comes from every direction. So the children that were born around the turn of the millennium have this really strong in their charts, and they come in with this strong, not only knowing what they are about, but connected to the other side and knowing that this is a purpose I have in my life. So they just assume that this is what's going to happen because they have such a strong vibrational energy drive towards that manifestation of who they are. It is a very, from the outside looking in, it's selfish. From the inside looking out, it's autonomous and what is the word? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of the word. It's at the top of Maslow's charts of needs. Self-actualized. There you go. Self-actualized energy. And so for those of us who are used to getting validation, which is personally an Achilles heel of the old mentality and system, we are looking for the validation all the time, like, well, it's a give and take world. So if I give you this, you've got to give me that, you know? And so when we try and do what we really want to do, we look outside of ourselves for the validation. Millennials don't look outside for validation, and it makes them look a little arrogant, makes them look self-absorbed, but it really is what we're going towards, because the energy of the future is, we are not looking for permission. We are here for a purpose. We all have a life purpose, and we're expressing that life purpose, and it's going to get stronger. That drive to express who we are, Uranus, is telling us what we need to do. We are moving towards an entrepreneurial paradigm, an entrepreneurial world, and we are being drawn, every one of us, towards our own life purpose and towards manifesting our own business, our own world of activity. And so with Uranus and Aries, Aries is retail, we are seeing a shift towards the entrepreneurial spirit with the internet coming about and people opening their own businesses. So the ones who are more strongly influenced by Capricorn will want to have an actual bricks and mortar store, but they want it to be their own. So that energy is coming in. And then the Pisces energy is just universal love. It's about, can't we all just love each other? It's Woodstock. It's peace, love, and, happiness. So all this energy is, we're swimming in it this year, at the beginning of this year. Like the planets, I'm looking at the chart, there's the moon in Gemini, but other than that, you've got Uranus on its own, Jupiter on its own, Saturn, Mercury clustered, Pluto, Sun clustered, and then Venus, Mars, and Neptune and the South Node are all clustered. So you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 energies out of 10 possible energies. I apologize. I'm going to turn off my little phone because somebody's calling me from Park City, Utah, which tells me they're going to ask me to buy something. Anyway, so the planets that could be all over the chart are really clustered in just a small area of the sky, and literally, other than the moon, they're all in one half of the sky. So we've got that energy going on. And actually within 2 hours, I was going to say, I forgot I don't have the actual chart that revolves or I can't even say the word, resonates to where it is in the sky right now. I had the natural chart. Oh, and what do you know? 1119 in Orlando, Florida. It's at 5 degrees Aries. So literally, it's the same chart as what I just had with the exact natural chart. So anyway, within an hour, we'll see Uranus pop up above the sky in the Eastern time zone, and then everybody but the moon will be up in the sky wanting attention. This is mostly transpersonal energy that we're dealing with right now, which means issues of groups of people as opposed to individual one-on-one relationships. Even Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is any of the planets, the signs in the lower half of the chart, which are from Libra through Pisces. They're going to be transpersonal. They're going to be, how am I interacting with you or the world? Or you is the world, so it's the outside world. So it's us and us energy as opposed to a me energy. And so all the quick-moving planets are the ones that do the interpersonal relationships, but they're all in transpersonal signs. So they're in the deeper issues of society. So Venus coming up on Neptune, it's about desire. It's about expressing love, pure love. Mars in Pisces, also taking action based on pure love. So in our personal lives, we're getting a lot of the Pisces energy. And so if you're feeling tired, that's why I've been having really, really vivid dreams the last few days. Not just vivid single dream, but like multiple dreams. I've been writing in my dream journal like 2 pages just to explain what all I was dreaming about. I was had a dream that there was somebody behind me and I touched him, or he was close enough to touch, and I was like concerned about that, but I decided I was going to start flying, and so I turned around and flew away, and it was just so awesome. I just love this time. So yeah, because my Saturn's in Pisces, which means my life purpose revolves around a certain amount of dream manifestation. Okay, I'm going to take an early break, and then we're going to take readings. We've got a lot of people waiting for a reading, but I think I can get to you all. So, yeah, let's just take a quickie break, and I'll be back in over a minute.
In these days of stress, running around, responsibilities, we all need a little place to go to make it all better. Is that place sports, football, or maybe you like to garden, paint, or just listen to music? Wherever your happy place is, you can find a shirt or mug to reflect that happy place. At myhappyplace.rocks, we have a variety of lifestyle products, including iPhone cases, pajamas, and pet items, all with beautiful, colorful designs, which help us go to our happy place. Stop by on the web for great gift ideas for others and yourself. myhappyplace.rocks. Lenny Pickett appears courtesy of Random Act Records. Check them out at randomactrecords.com.
You and Jupiter conspire to get me. I think you and the moon and Neptune got it right. I think you and the moon and Neptune got it right. 'Cause now I'm shining bright.
Oh my gosh, I just love that song. That's called Bright by Echo Smith. Oh, I love it. Anyway, it's a happy song, and it's got the planets in it because that's my thing. And I am Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. And you can get me for a reading at astrologerangel.com. And I don't often say it, but you can also get me at angeliczodiac.com. It's my other site. So we're going to get back to the phones and take some calls here. So let's see what we have. 651. Hi, how are you, and who is this?
Good morning. This is Linda.
Hi,
okay.
Linda.
Hi.
Hi. What can I do for you?
I have a curiosity question. I'm wondering if we can look at my son's chart and natal chart and see what implications there might be for difficulties in our relationship, because he's in Aries, Libra.
Oh, my. Okay. Can I get a first name?
Yes, his Jack, Jack.
Okay. 1 second while I put in some of the information this program asks. Okay, what's his birthday?
April 14, 1981.
Okay. And what time?
I believe it was 11:32 p.m.
Okay. And where?
St. Paul.
Okay. All right, let's see what we have.
He said he's a double Aries.
Oh, fun.
I know,
Yay. Right? Yeah. Well, he's got Uranus right on that energy right now too. So it's like, don't tell me what to do. So, and he's going through that until, let's see, oh, no, I wouldn't say 2018. Hang on 1 second. You know what? I had all of my ephemerae open, and then I ended my reading. I think I closed them, although I do have the book. So let me look real quick and see if I have the ephemeris. Okay, I don't have it here. I've got it right next to me. So I'm just looking at transits and seeing what's going on. Hang on. It's just easier for me to look at the overall table. I'm a visual person, and so if you give me just 1 second, I'll call that back up. There we go. Okay, so his chart, he has a Sagittarius rising, so he's already got a fire rising, and he's got Neptune in Sagittarius as well. And Uranus is at the last degree of Scorpio, so he's kind of pulling in a little bit of that, but it's right on the cusp of his 12th house from the 11th to the 12th. So Uranus going in there, it's a lot of like subconscious power issues and struggle with personal power. Like he's really fighting to have a say. And the moon is in Virgo, so it's about details. But the moon in his chart falls in his Sagittarius house, in the 9th house. So, yeah, he's got a lot of fire. Okay, so I'm just going to go over. Go ahead.
He's not an Aries. He's not an Aries sun and an Aries moon.
He is. He is. What I'm telling you is he's got a Sagittarius rising, which is at the moment of birth.
Fire.
Sagittarius was on the horizon, on the eastern horizon when he was born.
Okay.
So that influences people in their egos and how other people see them.
Yeah.
And so he has a Neptune just about to come up above the horizon at the time he was born. And let's see what else. I'm just looking at some triggers. I'm always interested in where were the sun, the moon, and what was on the horizon when people were born. Because if you think about a person going into labor or having to go in for a C-section, what was going on at that moment that happened? And so I always look to that too, like where was the moon, where was the sun, what was going on? And his moon was in Virgo. So that's about health, and there may have been some health issues when he was born, or with you, because the moon in Virgo, it's you represent kind of the Mother Teresa in his life, so to speak. You're like the purity. Yeah, but he's got, the fire influences in his chart, Saturn, Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, the fire sign, but Saturn and Jupiter are in the Sagittarius house. He's got moon in the Sagittarius house, so those three are fire. Currently in the sky, Jupiter's transiting his Pluto, which is a fire energy on his Pluto, which is explosive energy. Then he has natal Mars, Sun, and Venus about to get hit by Uranus in Aries in the house of home and family. So that's a huge thing. And then he actually has a little bit of a break with the Pisces energy in his house of communication, but he also has tucked in there in the 3rd house, he has Mercury in Aries. So he's got 4 planets in Aries. Wow. And then he has Saturn, Mercury, Pluto, and Sun all in his 1st house right now, which is the Aries fire house. So a lot of stuff's in fire for him right now, or influenced by fire energy. So Saturn is on his Neptune in the 1st house, which is owning his dreams and his desires, and he wants to travel. How old is he? He's close to 30. He's 35?
Yeah, he'll be
36.
36 this April.
36. So, he's
not really accomplishing much in his life at all.
Well, he's going to, but you have to let some of the fire energy get going. The Aries energy has been squaring all of the Pluto and Capricorn energy. And, right now, specifically with the Sun in Capricorn also, he's got a lot of stuff that's triggering him to move forward with his life and, basically shore it up, manifest it, and make it happen. Jupiter on his Pluto, I can tell you this guy needs to be in a partnership with somebody in business. And he just has to. His Pluto and Libra in the house of career, it's like passion for him. He needs to have that partner to balance him. And then in his first house, Saturn's on his Neptune, so I'm guessing he has some issues with extreme behavior.
Yeah.
And Saturn's saying you need to own this and channel it. So if he can channel it, Saturn wants him to make the dream come true. Whatever may have, so the extreme behavior I discussed around Sagittarius, so that can be bipolar, but if you break it down in an astrological sense, it becomes sensitivity to others and a drive for your own self-interest. And what happens is you can't seem to reconcile those two, so you end up acting to please others, and then you break free and you act to please yourself. And when you please yourself, you're kind of self-absorbed or selfish seeming to others, but you're doing what you want to do. And then when you crash down, it's because you are trying to please those around you. And you can't seem to reconcile the two. They are polar opposites in the minds of Sagittarius. So really, in some sense, he needs to be allowed to go on the manic bent and do it. And then Saturn's saying, okay, what can we do about that? How can we channel that intense energy into something that is beneficial to you? And Neptune on his first house, it's right on the horizon. Neptune is the one that's like, yeah, it's all good. I'm just chill. There's also, I want to say there seems to be a little bit of sense of like a snowboarder or somebody who's just like, that kind of energy of a snowboarder, like, yeah, we're just going to be chill. We're going to go down the mountain, or a surfer, somebody like that in the chart. Like, but the physical, he needs to move his legs. He needs to be actively physical because Sagittarius rules the lower half of the body. Does he do that?
Well, he's working out again. I mean, I bought him a pair of dumbbells for and he has a punching bag. I got him a punching bag years ago, and
that's for the Aries.
I think he needs to do more walking and those kinds of things, which he does. And in the summer, he's quite the fisherman and things. But he really does have extreme behavior. There's a lot of narcissism. In the last few years, we've really gone through a lot of like from 2011 to August of 2011 to the February or March of 2013, I basically just watched our relationship fall apart, and there wasn't anything I could do to stop it, and he had all this anger and rage about his father abandoned us, but being raised by a blind woman as a single parent. That's where all the all the venting came out around that, and then he ignored me for the whole year of 2015. Because it's something I said at the beginning of the year, and we're talking now. I mean, he's warmed up to me again. He realized that in that year, 2015, when he was ignoring me, he realized that he really does love me for more than biblical reasons. He loves me more than just because he's supposed to.
Right.
So he had that. He did realize that, but he really has a lot of
anger,
unresolved issues from his childhood. That's for sure.
Well, I'm looking at his chart. And I have
really learned to just let him be.
Yeah, it really is, honestly, because what happened in 2013 is Neptune went into Pisces, and that calmed that manic, well, not manic, but Aquarian energy is very mental, thinking, solution, what is it, what's the answer? And then when Neptune went into Pisces, it was like kind of like a fog and kind of like a drug, it's just like, and so that energy is squaring his Sagittarius. And honestly, another big answer for him would be spirituality. If he could turn to the spiritual side, he's going to find calm in that, because he has Saturn in his house of spirituality, the 9th house, and it's conjunct Jupiter, which rules that house. So he needs someone who's a spiritual person, and he's got a lot of strong energy. He's got 3 very strong planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, all in Libra. So
he
really, and it balances his Aries. So you will get some respite when Uranus goes into Taurus, although the thing with that is he will be more physical. I mean, like, yes, Aries is physical, and they definitely can benefit from punching bags or martial arts, but Taurus is the manifestation. It can be abusive, but if you channel it, that's like money stuff and beauty, and he really needs a strong infusion of Venus in balance. So the energy of femininity needs to be in Libra, which can calm his Aries energy. It's opposite. He's got that in his chart anyway, and his career might be more Venusian ultimately because it's in Libra. Saturn's in Libra. So he wants cooperation. And I'm thinking if he hasn't already done it, has he taken any classes that might get him doing something along the lines of social work or potentially therapy work?
No, he has a bachelor's degree in video game design and hasn't done anything with it.
Okay, well, if he hasn't done anything, I'm guessing it's not because he really is drawn to that. It was just something he was interested in because he didn't know what he wanted necessarily. But
yeah, he loves video games and stuff. I mean, he's addicted.
Well, he could earn money from it. He's got Aquarius in his house of money, but Saturn's in Libra. He is about Libra endeavors, which could be publishing, anything with like partnership, and love or a partner. You know, I know it's Venus, it's beauty, it's aesthetics. Like I said, publishing. He's got Mercury in the 3rd house. I would say if he could do something, you know, even, I know this may not sound like it now, but he potentially has the ability to be like a self-improvement or a guru who helps people, you know, like an Anthony Robbins kind of person, that kind of person.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, he's got that strong, I mean, he could potentially even be famous. He's got Jupiter right on his Pluto. There's something going on that could trigger something in him, but if it involves another person, he's definitely looking for a partnership. And I think, let me see.
He was disappointed. His wife was supposed to, you know, the deal was, you know, he was going to get his degree in video game design, and his wife was going to help him write the business plan, and that all just kind of fell apart. And she's, you know, not the support that he was hoping for her to be.
Well, that's the Jupiter. I'm telling you, Jupiter's at 22 Libra. His natal Pluto's 22 Libra. He's got Jupiter, which is life transition and expansion, right on Pluto, which is major life change. There's something going on that is going to shift and change the energy around partnership. And you said in career, she was going to help with career. This means that he's probably going to change over the course of the next 5 months. Jupiter will go retrograde in February, direct in June, and by the time it gets to Scorpio, there will be probably a different partner for him to get in business with. But that he needs it, and it's happening, but he's got to go through that shift and change around it.
Okay.
So, and it's part of the process. The astrological process says you're going to go back over the details. You're going to go back to the past. Say he's probably going to go back to her and go, why can't we work it out? Then Jupiter goes direct in June, and then it'll be like, no, this can't work because we're going in 2 different directions, and now I've got to find someone else. But he is going to be with a partner in business. There's something for his career. He needs that person to balance him, and he really needs it not only because it's part of his passion, but because it balances all his Aries at the bottom of his chart. And so whatever's going on with his wife, whether he ends up finding a path through that particular issue with her, or he finds someone else in business, there's someone else, or there's another person that will be in his life for helping the balance. He has to have it. And then Saturn's on his Neptune. This guy wants to do it. He really does. And I want to tell this very strongly. Venus, Mars, and Neptune are all together right now clustering. So it's inertia. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to take action because Pisces is that. Pisces is water. Pisces intuits. It feels things. And I can tell you whatever you think you know about him, you don't really truly know what's going through his mind because that Pisces is hiding it.
Yeah.
And then Saturn in his first house, he's wanting to be reborn. That's what it is. He wants to come out. He wants to make those dreams happen. He will do it. And I don't want you to look at what you see on the surface and say, oh, this isn't. It is. His chart is taking care of it. Yeah, he's got a lot going on with that energy. And then Pisces, Venus and Mars will get into Aries, and this guy will be off to the races. He wants to be his own boss, but he needs someone to help him with other things in it, and it does balance him. So he needs to find a partnership where he can be like the salesperson or the person who is like the engine, and then someone else takes care of the balancing, details maybe. But his Saturn's in Libra. He can have compassion for others, but Jupiter's right there. Jupiter can be more self-interested, and he just went through a Jupiter return. So, yeah, he really just needs someone. Really, the ideal would be a silent partner. That would probably be the ideal for him.
Right,
but,
exactly, because he's the boss.
He is.
Okay, thank you. That's some very helpful insight.
Hey, real quick, has he done anything with firemen? I think a fireman would be a great job on some level because he's got the compassion side, which is the Libra, the balancing. Yeah. He's got the fire energy, and then he has all the Aries. And Aries, I always say, they're emergency workers, policemen, firemen, women. If fire energy, he could be really. And then Neptune and Sagittarius. I mean, it gets the person working physically. It's an exertion. He needs that too. So all that might be good for him.
Okay, if it comes up in conversation, I'll mention it. There's nothing physical at all. I mean, and just try to get him to get a job just to contribute to the household is like
he will. I honestly don't see that really happening for like a month. He's not going to get the drive right away. He'll get the drive, and Aries is a good energy for him to get like a job doing sales. Also, it rules sales. So if he were to do something like that, that would also work. And then Sagittarius rules, in my interpretation, it's the market of housing market. So it could be a job. If he were interested, he could do, and that actually would be another good option, a real estate agent, because he's got Mars, which is action and sales, in the house of home and family. So he could, and that would also give him more autonomy in the job. And as a partner, this might even be the thing. You end up working for an overriding company, but you're kind of like the person who does your own thing, and then you have the name of the company with you, like Coldwell Banker or Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate or something like that. It could actually give him the structure, but still the autonomy, which would be really good. So that's just a thought. Anyway. Yeah, you broke me wide open. I just chat.
Yeah. Well, I figured that there was a lot in this chart, that's for sure.
There is. Yeah, there is. Well, compassion to you. You've got some fire energy, fire moon, and a fire Pluto. So, you can hold your own with them. And you've got a lot of Libra.
I do hold my own with him. The worst thing when he was going through that phase, because he basically came back in August of 2011 from the Where Were You talk with his dad, and his dad put everything on me, and he kind of settled on that and go, yeah, my dad's a coward, and and that kind of thing, because he didn't his dad didn't man up and didn't want to take care of the responsibilities and things like that. So it's taken him a long time to take the focus off of me.
Yeah.
And because his life was so difficult because I was losing my eyesight while I was being a single parent.
Right.
And but I did just let him vent. When he was venting, I just and the stuff that came out of his mouth was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And just biting my tongue and just going, and
from what his dad had said, you mean?
What?
From what his dad had told him?
He was just venting. His all this fire, the way he was ranting when he was painting my bedroom it was like, oh my God, you sound like a mass gunman.
Well, I hope you saged your room after he painted it.
It took me a while to realize it, because while he was venting, I'm going, oh, my God, I'm paying you $300 for you to tell me what a piece of shit mom I am. And I don't want all of your anger going into my walls.
Exactly. Sage the place for sure. Crystals.
At one point, I said, well, do you hate me? And do you hate me? And he paused and he said, well, you're my mom, so it's not really allowed, but you're not on the list of people I want wiped off the face of the earth. And I go, oh, well, that's comforting.
Yeah.
But I just had to let him have it, just let him vent it. And it was crazy. It was crazy stuff that was coming out of his mouth, but it's like it wasn't going to do me any good to try to defend it. It wouldn't have got either of us anywhere.
Yeah.
Just had to get it out.
Yeah. Well, you're a strong woman.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I hold my own with him.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best, and definitely let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yeah. Take care. You too. Happy New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year.
Thanks. Okay, let's go to 630. Hi, 630. How are you? Hello. Unmute your thing. You got to unmute your phone.
Hello. Is this me?
It is me.
Oh, wow.
How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good. Who is this?
Patty.
Patty, P-A-T-T-I?
Why?
Why?
Actually,
okay,
Patricia, but I go by Patty.
Okay, that's good. Awesome. Could I get your birthday?
March 22nd, 1963.
Okay, hang on one second. Entering a little bit more. Okay, March 22nd, 1963. And what time?
6:18 a.m.
6:18. Oops. And where?
Chicago.
What can I do for you?
Well, I want to know if the path that I believe that I'm on is the right path to continue on in the future.
Okay.
Because I'm not making any money, and I would like to make money.
You're going to.
That I will. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to. You're in your Saturn transit. The Saturn in the sky right now is in your house of education. So if you've been doing that, you're on path and in the right spot right now. And it could be teaching, or it could be learning something towards a career that's coming. Yeah, and again, I mean, it's really interesting. All the energy, everyone's like, oh, the money's not here. Where's the money? Where's the money? Again, Mercury retrograde in Capricorn was making the money kind of dry up, but it's going direct. It'll be back into Capricorn on the 12th. It's in Sag right now, so it was just wrapping up your educational story, and it's up there in your house of higher education. When it goes in, it'll hit your midheaven pretty quickly here next week. And then you're going to be, then it'll be more focused. You'll be able to communicate. And then that's also when you start to tell people just, what you can do for them. So it'll be the 19th. It hits your midheaven. So, that's going to be the spotlight on what you can do, having contracts. So if you are you in the educational, well, hold on. Don't tell me that. I want to look and see where your Saturn's in Aquarius. So that can be, I mean, I could go over all the things it is, but it's technology. Do you do something with technology?
No, but I do have that ability.
Computer.
It doesn't come that difficult to me, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it also can be, again, it's in the house of the humanitarian, so you have like a life purpose that is associated with helping other people and bringing people together in cooperation. And, you're able to detach. So what is it that you do?
Oh, I'm in the holistic health field, and I'm just about to finish a fitness certification that I've had, and it's unique. There's nothing quite like it. And
great.
I'm struggling with finding, getting people involved. And they're interested, but getting them to come and practice with me and finding places to do it. And so I keep saying, I'm a very faithful person, so I keep saying that, this is God's plan. He knows what, my future holds. So I can't be impatient. I just have to let it roll out as He wishes.
I can tell you. Okay, so what's going on in your chart is you have Sun in Aries, which is impatient, but it's in the 12th house, which can be ineffectual. The 12th house is Pisces, which just, like I said to the last caller, it kind of bogs you down a little bit, like it won't get going with things. Everything's in Pisces that is going to manifest money in action right now. So it is about sentimentality in the past and dreamy qualities and meditation and, yoga. It's not about money per se. It's about your desires and what your vision is for your future. So 2 things I want to tell you. First off, do a dream board on the 12th, which is more about manifestation when Mercury gets to Capricorn. So if you set it up that day, it's like this is manifest, and it's also going to trigger your career right away after that. So that's really good for you. And the other thing is Venus goes into Aries, which is the first house for you. It goes into Aries, which is still in your 12th, on the 4th of February, but then it gets into your first, which is your sense of identity, and it is the Aries house. So that's when things will take off, and that's on the 20th of February. And then Mars gets to Aries a little sooner, which is even better for you, which is the 29th of January. So the 29th of January, you're going to Mars in Aries. It's like, oh no, we're going to get something done. It's in the 12th, so there may still be that sense of like I'm spinning my wheels. I'm going forward. It's like when you peel out and your wheels spin before they grip. That's the feeling of those days, those 2 weeks. It's going to be like, okay, running, revving, and go. The go time comes when Mars hits your first house, which is the 11th of February. And then Venus hits it the same day, practically. It's the 14th. So, yeah, between the 10th and the 14th of February, trust me, you're going to be off to the races. You're going to be going. Okay. And then the good thing, the money comes, so you're going to do the actions. The money starts to really come in, and you can get money when Mars hits your first house. I would say that's probably the likelihood, but really when the money starts to roll in is when Mars or Venus get to your second, which is Taurus, and that's let me see here when Taurus is. It's in March, and Venus gets. Come on, where are you? Oh, it retrogrades. That's right. Venus, I think. No, hang on. Wow. There it is. Retrograde. So she retrogrades at the 4th of March. So it's going to be a little bit longer for Venus, which will be also money. But Mars, the action is going to be money driven on the 23rd of March. And also the sun goes into Aries on the 21st of March. So March is, I would say, if you're looking for that's when it's going to come.
Okay.
Yeah. And then right after that, when Venus gets in, Venus rules money and it rules the second house. So, there could be like a promise or work done towards money, but Venus might be going, yeah, but I'm not there yet. I'm not on board yet. And which extends it a little bit. But May 14th, she actually gets into your second house.
May 14th. You said Venus in second house?
Yeah, Venus goes into your second house in Taurus. She'll already, there will be like the action towards the money. You may even get some money. And I would say probably sales of something is how you'll get it before Venus gets there. And then that'll be more your career. Once Venus gets there in May, that'll be like a natural energy of the money coming to you. Whereas Mars in that house, it's like, I'm doing it. When's it coming? And then you're like hitting it, and it will come. But Mars in there is more about sales. So if you get money before Venus gets there, Venus is like, here's the money. Mars is like, you've got to do the work for the money. So, and it'll be sales. Okay?
All right. Good to know.
Hope that helps.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Give me a call back anytime.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. 720. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Dee Dee.
Have you called the show before?
No, this is actually my first time.
Awesome. Thank you for calling. I love having new callers. It's exciting. What's your birthday?
It is October 27th, 76.
Okay. What time?
12:43 a.m.
Okay. And do you know, or can you tell me where?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Cool. I like Tennessee. Awesome state.
Yes, it is.
Okay, give me 1 second. I forgot my M in Memphis while I was saying that. There it is. Now I can find it. Okay. So what can I do for you today?
I would like to know what is it that I'm supposed to be doing career-wise.
Career-wise. Okay, well.
Yes, especially, and then whatever else there is that might come out, that's keen to you. But career-wise, what is it?
Okay. Children and playfulness and creativity and leadership. Those are the hallmarks. You have Saturn in the first house in Leo. And so you have a Leo rising and Leo Saturn, which means that you are being asked to play with kids or be playful and show your creative side. So, and also, if you wonder, like as far as creatively, Leo is good with like craft-wise, like glass, stained glass, things like that, and scrapbooking. And what was another Leo thing? There was something else. Maybe it was the scrapbooking thing that I thought of recently. So tell me, hold on, where's your Mars? Mars is in the house of home and family in Scorpio. So you got a lot of energy in your home and family, and you have 3 more planets in the house of creativity and children, the 5th house, which is the Leo house, and Saturn's there right now. So it's in education. Do you do early childhood education?
No, I don't.
That's where I would encourage you to look at a career, actually. It could even be like, do you do PE? Do you do like phys ed or anything like that? Or dance, stuff like that, comedy, anything with the legs, horses, interest in horses. Okay, so
that
your chart
all sounds good though.
Well, usually I look for career, I look at where Saturn is, where Mars is, and what's at your midheaven, which is the top of your chart, which for you it's Taurus. So Taurus is about money. Jupiter is in that house, but Jupiter, again, it's horses and property. And Saturn and Leo, though, Leo is creativity, children, romance, and it's the sign of Leo, the leader. So there's a certain regal quality that you carry, and you'd be really good with, like, I mean, I see you as like a kindergarten teacher or a preschool teacher. And then Sagittarius in your 5th house, which is the Leo house. Sagittarius is all about education. So spiritual awakening, seeking out information, foreign culture. It's also about foreign culture. So do you want to travel? I can see that. You've got Venus and Neptune and Moon all in that house. So are you from another place? Like, do you have another culture in you? Another ancestry?
Could be possible.
Well,
yes.
You definitely have the energy of travel and wanderer in you, but you also really strong energy around children and playfulness. So you have, I'm just looking at you have Jupiter going through your house of communication and early childhood education, and you also have Mercury there, which means you're really good at talking. If you were a teacher, you could talk to the children really well, like you communicate well to them. You could read, it's a book energy. So everything in your charts, as far as I can see, is telling me that you should be a teacher. And if you would focus on young children, you also have Jupiter in Taurus in the house of career. So Jupiter is, again, that playful quality of Sagittarius, and Taurus is money. So you could earn money from education. It's all over your chart, honestly. Any interest in that?
I've been thinking about actually doing spiritual teaching, communication, healing.
There you go.
Readings. Yep. I've been thinking about also starting, stuff like that, like Cards of Destiny. But just trying to really get a feel for which one would be good for me, Well, so that's what.
Having the connection to children, that is huge in your chart, and the playful quality, and field trips to places that they can run around and recess and all that kind of stuff. It's everything in your chart just strikes me that way. And then in the sky, what's going on for time-wise, Mars moves into Aries in your house of education in the end of January. So I think you're going to really feel the stronger push. The first week of February, it gets into that house on the 6th of February. So see how you feel after the 6th of February. And something tells me you're going to be doing something for children. Okay?
Okay.
Well, thanks for the call.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think
Have
that
a
was
nice
it.
day. Okay, great. Talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going to sneak one more in because this is our last caller. 561. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Have you called the show before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, let me real quick get your information. And what's your name?
Stacy.
Is that EY or just Y?
EY.
Okay. And let me see. What's your birthday?
12/16/72.
Okay. And what time were you born?